And now let's shift focus to digital India. It has become a force to reckon with, and the world is watching. The most recent example is the International Monetary Fund, or the IMF. It has lauded India's digital public infrastructure. It has called it world-class. The IMF says digital India is a role model for other nations. And it's right. This is the golden age for technology in India. Just look at the numbers. Less than a decade ago, 60 million people had access to broadband in India. 60 million. Today, that figure is 800 million. More than 850 million people, in fact, have access to the internet in India. Every month, there are 8 billion UPI transactions. UPI is an instant, real-time digital payment system. And it is reaching the last mile in India, in small towns and villages. You see, India's digital infra is fascinating, and it has a superpower. It has changed itself with the times.
टेक्नोलॉजी का सही इस्तेमाल पूरी मानवता के लिए कितना क्रांतिकारी है, इसका उदाहरण भारत ने डिजिटल इंडिया अभियान के तौर पर पूरे विश्व के सामने रखा है। मुझे खुशी है कि 8 वर्ष पहले शुरू हुआ ये अभियान बदलते हुए समय के साथ खुद को विस्तार दे रहा है।
Apart from this, India's very belief of sharing its success has helped the country. We are talking about open standards. This means anyone can use India's digital infra. I'll give you some examples. Look at the healthcare sector. The IMF says it has been massively impacted by digitization, and it has, like the CoWIN platform. It is India's COVID-19 vaccine distribution platform, and it became the country's digital backbone during the pandemic. It enabled quick vaccine delivery throughout the country. It helped overcome challenges of large-scale migration during the time. The world has learned from India's CoWIN. And its technology has been deployed in several nations now. The list includes countries like Indonesia, the Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Jamaica. They're all using Indian technology and India's learnings for their vaccination programs. Services in India have increasingly become paperless. Most things can now be done online, making access even simpler and more efficient. For instance, identification, your ID cards. You may remember a time when we all had multiple identity cards. Now we have one. It's called the Aadhaar, and it gives universal coverage. It has the ability to handle data of more than 1 billion citizens. Over 1.3 billion Aadhaar cards have been issued till date. 1.3 billion. It requires minimal information like name, age, gender, and it has a quick rollout speed. This is what helped it get vast acceptance. By contrast, how are other countries doing with their digital ID rollout? The IMF says most have hit stumbling blocks. Another layer that has been completely transformed is payments. Digital payments like the UPI have penetrated into our lives seamlessly.
आज यूपीआई भारत में सबसे पसंदीदा पेमेंट मैकेनिज्म बन गया है। मर्चेंट्स और कंज्यूमर्स दोनों ने ही इसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा वे अपना रहे हैं। इसलिए आज बहुत से एक्सपर्ट्स ये अनुमान लगा रहे हैं कि जल्द ही भारत में डिजिटल वॉलेट ट्रांजैक्शन नकद लेन-देन से अधिक हो जाएंगे।
We look at it as a tectonic shift in user behavior, where people are now willing to adopt digital payments because the government has incentivized them.
India has also shared its fintech with the world. Citizens can do cross-border UPI transactions with a number of countries, including the US, the UK, Singapore, the UAE, and Australia. And what's behind India's digital innovation? The IMF has the answer to that too. It says this is because of India's special focus on a building block approach. It refers to basic tools that provide tailored solutions. And this has been crucial for India because we are a vast country, we are a diverse country. The right policy initiatives have done wonders. India's digital public infrastructure has transformed the economy. It supports inclusive growth, and India is emerging as a leader in the global digital economy, showing no signs of slowing down.